Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to your September 2014 Runescope with me. My name is Amanda. As always, just want to encourage you to watch the video for your rising sign as well if you know it. The combination of that with your sun sign on these very general readings can usually give you a pretty good guide of what you can expect in September. Rising sign is more specific to you, so some people find that that is even more accurate than their sun sign. Of course, the only way to get a reading only for you and looking at any specific issues or areas of concern that you may be dealing with is to schedule an appointment with me. I do those on Skype. They're $65 for a half-an-hour session. Just drop me a line at the email address below the video or floating around somewhere in the video if you'd like, and we'll get that set up. It can take me a few days to get back to you sometimes. Just depends on how many people are ahead of you in the line, but never fear, I will get back to you. So just please be patient. Last month I did something a little bit different with the rune stones, and the overwhelming majority wants those back. So I am going to continue with the stones. But I am going to use one tarot card for each position as well, for those of you who prefer the cards and are more comfortable with the cards. We will be doing that as well. They work very well together. In fact, those of you who have had readings with me, I do, you know that I use both in my readings. So, also everybody wanted my face back through the whole reading, so here you go. I don't know why, but here we go. Ask and you shall receive. So that's back to normal, but let's jump into September here, Capricorn and Capricorn rising, and see what you guys have to look forward to. Oh, get a lot coming up here. Okay. This goes here. Okay, let me just get our tarot cards. We'll do one for each position. Alrighty, so Capricorns, for the month of September, your challenge. You may be dealing with someone who, because she's coming up as a Queen of Rods, so this could be somebody who's a fire sign, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And she's coming up in your challenge position. So this is somebody you may not trust. You may feel, or maybe it's just somebody you don't know well. You may have a difficulty being positive or feeling positive towards this person. This is somebody who just sees things very differently from you. And again, earth and fire, pretty different. Not the most compatible. You may find her very impetuous. She may just rub you the wrong way, the things that she says. This can be somebody that you're in a romantic relationship with, or somebody that, maybe you're just starting out and maybe you were interested in, initially attracted, but not yet in the spot where you would call this a relationship. For some of you, this may be a friendship, a family member, or somebody new to the family, an in-law, something like that. I don't know, you're just very distrustful here. And she's coming up in the challenge. So, it does seem that there may be some sort of altercation or something that maybe you thought was going well, then takes a turn for the worst. And maybe this is somebody you've been dealing with for a while, and you thought everything was back on track. You guys were communicating, or things were going better, and then the relationship just kind of takes a turn again. The thing is, I feel like this is going on in the background. Like, this is not a primary relationship for most of you. For those of you that it is, I think you'll be able to get that footing back, but you may just be a little disappointed. You may see the true colors of someone, and you may just decide, I can't trust this person. I have to keep dealing with them. Maybe it's a family member that you have to, see occasionally or deal with in some way. Maybe it's a coworker that you have to, deal with. But you'll know you can't trust this person, in September. So if you were waiting and kind of holding off, really maybe opening up to somebody, then I think in September you'll see why that was a good idea. Most definitely. For a lot of you, there's been a gradual new beginning happening, or a gradual change or shift. You know, I feel like this may have been delayed, or you feel like it's been delayed, you know, and it's just, it may seem like to you it's been going on forever. And it's like trying to get the joy back, bring the joy back into a relationship. And again, this doesn't have to be romantic. This can be a family relationship, a friendship, you know, any relationship that you're trying to get back on track, because I feel like it once was maybe one of your most important relationships, or maybe this was a person that you were very close to, and, you know, maybe this person kind of came in and, you know, got between you, or, you know, maybe just took the attention away, and you felt kind of beholden, you know, and, or sad that you can't see this person as much. And I think there may be progress in September, Capricorn, but it's still not where you want it. It's still not back to the super fun thing that it used to be. Doesn't have to be a relationship. That's just an example. This could be a project. I mean, it may be something you really enjoyed, but then maybe other people got involved and it wasn't as enjoyable, or maybe it was a work project and they brought other people in, and suddenly it's like, wow, this used to be a really creative, fun thing to work on or do, and now it's kind of, you know, turned to junk. Now I hate it because of the people involved. It seems like you'll be able to get this back on track. For those of you making wedding plans, some of you may be planning a wedding, you know, you may find that the joy is kind of taken out of that, because maybe you run into things that you wanted but you can't afford, or maybe you just run into, you know, the issues that come along with planning a big event like that, the frustrations and things like that. It's a temporary glitch in September, Capricorn. Don't let it get you down. You know, and this doesn't have to be a wedding, but it can be, you know, any kind of big family event, maybe you know, a christening, or a shower, anything to celebrate something. But normally this card makes me think of weddings and big family gatherings. You know, and a lot of stress goes into planning those sorts of things. So that, I mean, you may feel just a little bit less enthused about something in September than you did initially, Capricorn. But you know what? It's going to turn out okay. It's going to be fun. You know, nobody's going to notice the little details that you're kind of freaking out about. Just remember that. You know, nobody's gonna notice the tiny details that maybe you are. Help that's gonna be available to you is that there is something coming that's really joyful on the family front. So I do think that this relationship, while the progress has been steady or slow, or slower than you would have liked, I think there's a reconciliation at hand. It may not be as full or as much as you had hoped. And it does look like somebody's going to be disappointed, or somebody's going to not be happy about this. And honestly, this person's coming up as a not so great person. With the Queen of Swords reversed comes up. This is somebody who's very, just hurtful with words. You may find her rude. You know, or she may be, sometimes she wields her truth like a sword, honestly. And maybe when she's upside down though, her truth, her perspective is off. So this is somebody who doesn't really know what she's talking about. But you know what? I don't think it's gonna, I think you're gonna kind of like that she's pissed. So this could be somebody who is coming in between you and someone you care about, Capricorn. And you know, and you're just happy and joyful that she's not that great, that she's not that joyous about this. Those of you who are looking to get pregnant, I do think there's a, you know, I've got the new beginning and the joy rune. So together that symbolizes, yay, pregnant. And there may be somebody who's unhappy about that. Maybe it's an ex, or, you know, your man's ex, or an ex-wife, or, you know, maybe it's your mother if you're younger. If you don't want to get pregnant in September, as I always say, take precautions. But I do feel like this will make most of you very joyful. If this is not a birth, it is a new creative project. So maybe you have been putting something off and putting something off. Maybe you lost faith. Maybe that's what you lost faith in. It's a creative project that you were once very enthusiastic about. You're going to get it back. That enthusiasm and excitement for creating is going to come back. Some of you may have a family event in September. So this may be what this is. And you know, there at the end, you kind of lose steam, but it's actually going to turn out quite joyous. So whatever event you're planning, if it does take place in September, Capricorn, it's going to come off without a hitch, and everybody's going to have a good time. And, there may be one person who's the stick in the mud. And, but it's kind of like expected. This person is never really all that fun to be around. So yeah. And for, a lot of you here in the States, we have Labor Day in September. So maybe you're having a barbecue or some kind of party, for Labor Day weekend. And, there's that one person who's always kind of ho-hum or tries to bring the mood down. I don't think this person's going to be successful. Just want to let you know that. What can't be changed about September is that there may be some sort of disruption around your home. This could involve water, Capricorn. So there could be, if you've had a leak or something, definitely you may want to get that checked out in September, just to make sure that maybe there's not damage. If you have a basement, there may be some kind of water damage. For some of you may have these disruptions may come around family, but it's not going to be as bad as maybe it's been before. There may still be some delay and frustration. So, that kind of goes back to this card. It's not going to be totally back to the way it was, and somebody's still trying to cause disruptions. I do think it's this person who is presenting herself as the Queen of Rods, but she's really the Queen of Swords reversed. She's kind of putting on a mask of, I'm this way, but she's really not the best sort at all. So just be aware of that, Capricorn. Anticipate the moves. And don't let this person wreck your stuff. Try not to let them get into your life that much. If you can keep them at bay, this is the kind of person that should be held out here. Do not let them into your inner circle the best you can. Keep them as far away from you as possible, because it's a bad negative kind of influence. And I feel like this person has tentacles that somehow reach in and can wound people. But again, I think that's what she says. It comes through her mouth or texting, or digitally. This is somebody actually who face-to-face may put on quite a show, but then, can really kind of rake people over the coals in messages. Because a lot of people feel safer behind a computer. They can really hide, But the outcome of September, Capricorn, for you is that, I feel like you've delayed letting someone know how you really feel in a certain way, and that may come to a head in September. So if you have been holding back, I do feel like you may let someone know, look, you kind of just, somebody's been very complacent or just very apathetic about a situation, or very unfeeling about a situation. And you're going to be like, hey, this is not right. This is not right. You are going to kind of prevent someone from taking something that belongs to you, or someone that belongs to you, or that's going to be your motive. Your motive, I think you're going to be very diplomatic throughout the month, Capricorn. I don't really see you losing it with anybody somehow. I think privately at home, you may really be venting to your mate or to your roommate or family, about, this troublemaking person. But I don't think that you're going to let that show. I think you're going to be very diplomatic about it. And that's really very smart if you can do it. But there is someone in your midst who, has kind of, really let this situation go further than they should have. It seems like this was not your responsibility to take care of, but somebody didn't step up and take care of it. And now you're kind of dealing with the overflow or the aftermath. Again, doesn't have to be a family situation. It can be a work situation. But yeah, even though you're angry about it, I think you're going to seethe on the inside, or you're going to, vent about it at home to someone who's not directly connected to it, or somebody who, can just kind of be your sounding board. Your ultimate goal is to prevent someone from taking something from you, though. And it seems like there's just a lot of, it's complex. It's a complex situation, Capricorn. And it seems very drama-rama. And what you're trying to do is not react to it in a drama-rama sort of way. And, but no, you may be just feeling the absence of someone, feeling the absence of a relationship that used to be very strong. And, you know, this person hasn't been stolen from you. I do feel like this is temporary. You know, again, this is progressing. But the runes are cautioning that you think before you speak, and I do think that you will. I think that you will. And you are going to be able to kind of turn this around by the end of September. I think you're going to be able to get someone to see something in a certain light. Maybe you're the only one who can do it, Capricorn. It could be that you're the one that has to... Maybe you're the only one who can communicate with this person in a way that's really going to get their attention. So hopefully that was helpful. That is what I see for September, Capricorn. I'll see you back here in October.